Dear comrades and friends, and maybe a handful of enemies, मैं जज्बा सदरंग हूँ या मौजे सबा हूँ, एहसास की चौखट पे खड़ा सोच रहा हूँ, एक जाम तो पी लेने दे ए गर्दिश दौरा, फिर तुझको बताता हूँ मैं कौन हूँ क्या हूँ। 100 बार जमाने ने मुझे जहर दिया है, 100 बार मैं सच बोल के सुकरात बना हूँ। We are celebrating reunion of 36 CTP, a unique badge ever produced by the Service Academy of Pakistan since its birth. Today, I urge upon my comrades to make a pledge to fashion it the best badge ever produced by the exalted training institution, not through words, but by expressing unity in our comradeship, discipline in our lives, and faith and capabilities to do rightful deeds. Although the course of truthfulness is difficult and replete with thorns, but it is a pathway of dignity and eternal success. Our reply to stringent critics of transparent practices should be, तुझे क्यों फिक्र है ए गुल, दिल सच चाह के बुलबुल की, तू अपने पैरहन के चाक तो पहले रफू कर ले, तमन्ना आबरू की हो अगर गुलजारे हस्ती में, तो कांटों में उलझ कर जिंदगी करने की तू कर ले। A score of months ago, we were united at a momentous place and the most prestigious institution of the country, the Civil Service Academy of Pakistan. This institution provided us an atmosphere that built our capacity to compete, motivated our passions to cooperate, ignited our patriotic spirit to serve, bonded us in bond of fraternity and tied us in rosary of comradeship. Our reunion speaks volumes that we are rekindling our belief that मौज है दरिया में और बैरून दरिया कुछ। The Academy exposed our calmness to circumstances that encouraged us to enlighten dark valleys of social evils that are shaking foundations of our country, provided us opportunities to expand our vision, gave us a beacon light of hope to use our capacity, competence, commitment and courage to serve the public, and guided us to keep on moving on pathways of progress and prosperity by adhering to slogan of Iqbal. खुदी की ये मंजिले अवली, मुसाफिर ये तेरा निशेमन नहीं, तेरी आग इस खाकदां से नहीं, जहां तुझसे है तू जहां से। बड़े जा ये कोहे गिरा तोड़कर, तलिस्मे जमानों मकां तोड़कर, हर एक मुंतजिर तेरी यलगार का, तेरी शोख ये फिक्र किरदार। I have a firm belief that it is the young blood that can bring a positive change in any society. We have to accept the challenges confronting our nation as courageous leaders. We have to inject in ourselves bravery to bounce back with full vigor the enemies of our motherland. We have to serve with indomitable will and dauntless courage and move forward with a rock-like determination, with an intention never to turn back. We have to work till justice rolls down like water and righteousness like a mighty stream. We should not ask what our country can do for us. We should ask ourselves what we can do for our country. उस कौम को शमशीर की हाजत नहीं रहती, वो जिसके जवानों की खुदी सूरते फौलाद, शहीं कभी परवाज से थक कर नहीं गिरता, पुरदम है अगर तू तो नहीं खतरा है उस्ताद। Services is not like a blanket with same texture and color. It is like a quilt where people belonging to every nook and corner of the country, having different backgrounds, come together to unify in symphony of brotherhood. Civil service is the central superior service where a bunch of best brains of the country get maximum opportunities for maximum duration of time to raise to the glorious heights of self-actualization and can substantially contribute in nation building. Therefore, the service is really a great blessing of God showered on us. We are lucky that glad tidings are smiling upon us owing to civil service. Therefore, we should be thankful to omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent God who uplifted us and our communities to the heights of enviable glory, providential splendor, and matchless esteem. Ghalib rightly said, हर एक बात पे कहते हो तुम कि तू क्या है, तुम ही कहो कि ये अंदाज़े गुफ्तगू क्या है। रगों में दौड़ने फिरने के हम नहीं कायल, जब आंख ही से न टपका तो लहू क्या है। हुआ है शह का मुसाहिब, फिरे है इतराता, मगर न शहर में गालिब की आबरू क्या है। Therefore, public service should make us better instead of bitter, and humble instead of arrogant. Remember resonance of मीर तक मीर, इस सर को गुरूर आज है यहाँ ताजवरी का, कल उस पे यही शोर है फिर लोहागरी का। Civil service is the best service that gave us recognition in society and in honor in our families, made us a source of pride for parents and a source of introduction for relatives, and uplifted us to level of most privileged community of the country. However, authority delegated to us should not become a source of power intoxication. We should realize that we are not perfect servants. We are not perfect people, but we are public servants. It is the public that is the source of power in a democratic framework of government. We should appreciate it. Otherwise, our names are likely to fade in the dark chapters of history as many of our predecessors. Habib Jalib rightly said, तुमसे पहले भी एक शख्स यहाँ तख्त नशीं था, उसको भी अपने खुदा होने पर इतना ही यकीन था। कोई ठहरा हो जो लोगों के मुकाबल तो बताओ, वो कहाँ है कि जिन्हें नाज बहुत अपने तई था। आज फिरते हैं इसी शहर में तन्हा लिए दिल को, आज फिरते हैं इसी शहर में तन्हा लिए दिल को, एक जमाने में मिजाज इनका सरे अर्शे बरी था। It is obvious today that our nation is sadly crippled by the manacles of corruption, and people have been burning in the flames of contemptuous injustice. Therefore, to end dark shadows that plagued our nation, we the civil servants are duty bound to ladle out justice and ensure transparency to rule our hearts and minds of the public instead of over their heads. I assure you, people of Pakistan are wise enough that they would prefer a civil servant walking on feet and solving their problems over an arrogant bureaucrat riding on the back of a horse driving them with iron rod. Daniel Duffy rightly said, "And kings the sword of justice first lay down, there are no kings though they possess the crown. Titles are shadows, crowns are empty things. The good of subjects is the end of things." This maladministration has cracked faith of the public in the state institutions. We as leaders of organizations have to check this assault. We have to break these fetters that have been plaguing our service and eroding its prestige. It is an open secret that people living in the midst of vast ocean of material prosperity and through illegal means cannot carve out their names and bright chapters of history. It is up to us to choose the path of dignity or disgrace. The architect of our republic, the father of the nation, the Qaid-e-Azam, gave us a magnificent state. He signed a promissory note to every citizen of the state that they would be guaranteed unalienable rights of life, liberty, and pursuit of the happiness. By saying, you are free to go to your mosque, you are free to go to your temple or any place of worship that has nothing to do with the business of the state. Iqbal also said, "उठो मेरी दुनिया के गरीबों को जगा दो, काखे उमरा के दरो दीवार हला दो, सुल्तानी जमहूर का आता है जमाना, जो तर्जे कोहन नजर आए मिटा दो, जिस खेत से दहकां को मयस्सर न हो रोजी, उस खेत हर कोशे गंदम को जला दो." It is obvious today that we as a nation have defaulted on this promissory note. Instead of honoring this sacred obligation, we have become a fractured state where caste is given preference over humanity, sectarianism is given priority over religion, private wealth is given preference over public wealth, personal interests dominate national interests. We have to resist with full force these powerful currents due to which internally we are divided and externally we are out of joint. If we want to revive the lost prestige and glory of the service, we have to adhere to the words of the Qaid and verses of Iqbal. बदतर आज अंदेशा सूदो ज़ियां है जिंदगी, है कभी जां और कभी तस्लीम जां है जिंदगी, तो इसे पैमान अमरोज और खरदा से न नाप, जाविदां फहम दवा हरदम जवां है जिंदगानी की हकीकत को कंस के दिल से पूछ, जुए शीरा व तेशा व संगे गिरा है जिंदगी, उस सदाकत के लिए इस दिल में मरने की तरफ। पहले अपने पैकरे खाकी में जहां पैदा करे, फूंक डाले ये जमीन व आसमान मुस्तार और खाकस्तर से आप अपना जहां पैदा। जिंदगी की कुव्वते पिन्हा पुकार दे आश्कार, ता ये चंगारी फरोगे जावदान। Our dearest country is passing through most difficult phase of its history. I have come here to remind you the pious urgency of the moment. This is no time to engage in the luxury of cooling off or to take the tranquilizing drug of gradualism. अज आखा वारिस शाह नूं कि तू कबरां विचों बोल ते अज किताबे इश्क दा कोई अगला वर्का फोल। एक रोई सी थी पंजाब दी तू लिख लिख मारे वैन, अज लखां तियां रोंदियां तिन वारिस शाह नूं कहन कि दर्दमंदां दे दर्द आ तक अपना पंजाब, अज वेले लाशां विछियां ते लहू दी परे जनाब। किसे ने पंजाब पानियां विच दित्ती जहर रला, ओना पानियां धरत नूं दिता जहर पला। धरती ते लहू वस्या कबरां पईयां चोन, प्रेम दियां शहजादियां विच मज़ारां रोन। अज सब्बे कैदो बन गए, अज सब्बे कैदो बन गए हुस्न इश्क दे चोर। अज कित्थों लियावां लभ के वारिस शाह कोल। Now is the time to wake up and realize raison d'etre of Pakistan. Now is the time to stand for honesty instead of deceit, duplicity, dung and corruption. Now is the time to pay back to our nation by exploiting our true potential to fortify the fort of Islam. Now is the time to stand for principles of unity, faith and discipline instead of disunity, narcissism, cynicism and paranoia. Now is the time to join hands to uplift the masses from the dark and desolate valleys of poverty and injustice and the long night of their captivity. Now is the time to make this land of the pure into a peace land of the world. Now is the time to ensure good governance by rooting out cancer of corruption to build trust of the public and state institutions. Now is the time to transform the steel frame of bureaucracy into public service by breaking the back of colonial legacy. आईने नौ से डरना, तर्ज़े कोहन पे अड़ना, मंजिल यही कठिन है कौमों की जिंदगी। Now is the time to give a clarion call to enemies of Pakistan. Don't fix your shallow eyes on our pure soil, otherwise we will extract your eyes from your sockets. Now is the time to educate the masses, to bring them out of murky lands of bewilderness to the sunlit path of knowledge. Now is the time to utilize our innovative minds to give out-of-box solutions for fixing complicated issues. Now is the time to prepare ourselves for sacrifices by giving priority to national imperatives over personal triage. Now is the time to break the begging bowl by developing self-reliance, because when beggars extend their bowl, they don't feel shy, but the players of independence, they never enjoy. They degrade themselves for a scare meal. Physically they live, but morally they die. True spirits of life are in self-reliance, because remedies in ourselves often do lie. Now is the time to highlight commonalities instead of differences. Now is the time to become a nation out of a disorganized crowd by indoctrinating patriotism. I vote to thee, my country. I vote to thee, my country, all earthly things about, entire and whole and perfect, the service of my love. The love that asks no question, the love that stands the test, that lays upon the altar, the dearest and the best, the love that never falters, the love that pays the price, the love that makes unadulterated the final sacrifice. Qaid-e-Azam Zindabad, Pakistan, find